I'm Zoe Wiliams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of Reason on HotButton-Radio. Zoe Wiliams is in the building. I got another incredible topic. Before I get to this topic, let me make sure that we get all our people online. I'm going to give you, John, Veronica Conway's number. I want you to call her. All right. I want you to call my other guest as well. John, stay focused. I got you. I'm going to get him the number. Gosh, this guy right here, man. Woo! Listen, before I get into the topic, y'all see this book? Yeah. The Relationship Dismount. How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. Written by me. My homeboy Frank, who edits the shows, will put up all of the links where this book is available. If you want the physical copy of this book, you have to go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com. You order it, I'll mail it out ASAP, period. Right? The physical copy comes directly from me. Now, bam, look at that. Whoa. Just creative, artsy. Now, this book is available on Kindle. It's available as a digital format, Kindle. It's also available on iBooks. Frank will put all of these logos and all of that stuff up where you can go get it. Please support. To this point, it's pretty critically acclaimed. 94% 5-star rating on Amazon.com. It's not a toy. A lot of times people, listen, books are like relationships, are like nightclubs. People are always trying to escape some shit. And I look at those means of escape as toys, right? This book, however, will not allow you to escape from yourself. So don't play yourself. If you're really serious about making your relationships better, and let me say this too, a lot of people are afraid to read a book that they think is about breaking up when they're in a relationship that they believe to be pretty good, right? What I'm going to say about that is this book is preventative medicine. Sometimes when you get sick, if you're prepared, whatever illness hits you has less of an impact because you were prepared for it in the first place. The same can be said about relationships. Good relationships get better when you read 12 chapters of a book that's filled with exercises, right? The chance of your relationship getting better is higher. You guys work together when things are good. You guys prepare together when things are good. If you read this relationship with your partner while things are good, I promise you, when things get bad, you'll hearken back to some of the examples, tools, and lessons that were presented in the Relationship Dismount, right? So that's my promo for the book. Also, Frank is going to put up my GoFundMe page. This is how we pay Frank. Frank is expensive than a motherfucker, too. and he's starting to get tardy. You know why he expensive? Number one, he good. Number two, he got like 12 other people doing the same thing. He doing it for 12 other people. So that's why there's somewhat of a delay. He busy. I be getting heated. Be like, Frank, where's Monday's show, pimp? Well, I had to edit 87 other shows, and I'm doing the score for the Superman movie. Okay, nigga, shit. All right, my little shit can wait. Frank is my guy. No, he's good people. But I will say this, man. Go to the GoFundMe page. Continue to support the VOR radio network. Our GoFundMe page is www.gofundme.com/Zoe Wiliams. All of the promotion is out of the way. Today's topic is going to be crazy. Before I intro the topic, I think we got Veronica Conway on the line, yeah? VC!
Hey, what's up, baby boo?
Whoop, whoop. This topic is going to be crazy. Why, Veronica, why do you send me the craziest topics in the world? You know I'm going to go do some research and build out some crazy shit. You know what I'm going to do. Why do you do this, Veronica?
Because it's my role and my lane to serve the divine masculine in the way that I know how to.
Indeed. I do feel served.
I'm always down for a vision. I'm always down for a vision.
Always down for a vision. We got a special guest coming in, your friend, right?
Yeah, well, we were recent friends. I just thought he'd be a great contribution to the show.
Wow. This is going to be so dope. Listen, let me intro today's topic. APS. Avoiding poverty sex. A tutorial for women and men on how to stop fucking fear-based poverty, penis, and yoni. What? Who comes up with this stuff? God, let me say it again. APS, are you suffering from APS? Are you practicing APS? Avoiding poverty sex. A tutorial for men and women on how to stop fucking fear-based poverty, penis, and yoni. I've got questions. How can the fear of having nothing ruin your love life? Oof. Is fear a sexually transmitted disease? Oh my God, can you fuck it into him? Oh God. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. True or false? The fear of criticism can oftentimes, what are you telling me? I got one caller on the line. You just needed to do that while I was reading? Okay, cool. All right. Thank you. You know how the referees just kind of, I haven't made a call in a long time. Let me just call some shit to let them know that I'm still in the game. You fucking up the game right now, John. You okay? Like, hey, you just blowing the whistle? I'm just letting you know I'm here. I have a job to do. The fuck? True or false? The fear of criticism often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that can hold people back from being successful and wealthy. The fear of criticism can. Oh my God, true or false? True or false? The fear of poverty is both the most destructive and the hardest to master of all the fears. Listen to that. The fear of poverty is both the most destructive and the hardest to master of all the fears. God damn. What is poverty dick? What is poverty yoni? Ooh, does poverty dick and poverty yoni have a inherent fear of being lonely? Is there a hankering in the poverty dick and the poverty yoni? Oh, God. You thought I wasn't listening, huh, Veronica? Well, I was.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is crazy. How do you know you have encountered a poverty dick or pussy? Like, what are the signs of broke dick and broke yoni? Is there a smell? Woo! What are the different types of sexual energies to avoid? Oh my God. This is Veronica right here. What is sex debt? Sex debt? Oh my God. This pussy come with interest. I don't know. What are we doing? Woo! Are you really who you fuck? Okay, we've enough questions. Enough questions. It's about to go down in the motherfucking town. Veronica Conway.
Yes, sir.
Did I frame it correctly?
Yes, you did.
Oh my God, she said it all. Sensual. Some fucking going on already. Hey.
Well, you and I make radio show babies, right?
That's what we
radio show babies.
That's what we do.
We give birth to.
Yes. So let's do this, Veronica. Let's bring in the game spitter, Ken.
Right.
Brisbane. Right.
Hey.
Let's bring him in. Hey, he's not even paying attention.
My tail is wagging because
he's not on yet.
He's spit some truth.
Okay, so let me just say this. John, right, who I call Pork Reinfeld, he's working to get Ken on. Is Ken on? You tell me. Just let me know. We'll find out together. Ken, are you on the show? We have to wait? Oh, God. Oh, you're bullshitting. Okay, so look. If you figure out getting Ken on, me and Veronica will fill this right now. Jesus. Okay, so John has been working with us the longest, Veronica, and I promise he has become the most inept. Because we're friends.
It's his board.
You know what it is? It's because we're friends.
I can't, there's no phone in here. You know there's no phone. So it's hard to call people when there's no phone. So I'm trying to make the call.
It's because we're buds. So he's like, I could fuck up with Zoe.
I'll just make a joke.
Right. This is bullshit. Veronica, this is what I need you to do for me real quick, though. I need you to explain to me what exactly is sex debt? How does one get into sex debt? That's heavy.
Well, it's not my framing. It's actually Ken's framing, who's going to come on to the show. But I think he framed it up powerfully in terms of who are the people that are in your life that suck and drain the energy out of you.
Mm.
Right. And you can, because sex is such a powerful weapon in the wrong hands, you can experience a deficit
Wait a
your
minute.
sexual interaction with them.
Something is hitting me right now. Something is hitting me right now. I can remember booting a girl out of my life because she was like a compass with no hands. She wasn't pointing in any direction.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know what she wanted. Nothing really mattered.
Right.
You know, it was crazy. I was like, okay, you got to go. Wait a minute. I love you. No, what? You don't even love yourself. You don't have no. I wanted to say, where is your center? What are you grounded in?
What she's really saying is, I love how you make me feel, which is different from loving you.
Oh,
we talk about this. What the idea is. Like, I love how you make me feel, which is not, in fact, love.
Mm.
Right? And so let me go back to how it's actually meant to function between the masculine and the feminine. So the way it's meant to function is yin and yang. The man is meant to seed the woman with his truth, clarity, firepower. He should be the sun. She is meant to take that into her consciousness and shower him and reflect him back to himself as a receptive. Because what do men look for? What are they searching for, hankering for? A woman that will shower him with an acknowledgement of his power. But he's got to seed her with that power. That's yang. And then she has to basically, it's an orgasm all over him. I mean, both that literally and metaphorically.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's fueled by that so that he has enough firepower to then reseed her. And that's how it actually functions. That's how it's meant to function.
Oh, no, let's drill down.
Yeah.
Let's drill down further. Yeah. Let me ask. Men are supposed to seed women. And this is the real wealth? Whatever a man is seeding a woman with energetically is the real wealth? I'm trying to understand this. Is that what you're saying?
She gives birth to what is inside of his consciousness, especially if she's interacting with him over time. So whatever he's holding as a thought, an idea, whether it's scarcity or victimhood or wealth and power, when he comes into relating with her, he seeds her with that just like he seeds her with a baby. She is meant to give birth. She's a receptive. She's meant to give birth to what he seeds her with.
Well, let me.
Go
ahead.
And so what happens is that if a woman is receptive, vibratory, feminine, because she's been clarified, then she showers him with this. It's like an essence. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a essence, and it fuels him to go out and conquer more because he becomes invincible with the showering of her love, her respect, her adoration. Then he has more fuel to feed her with. That's the cycle of yin and yang. That's how it works. That's how it functions.
I need more. What if she's fucked up on her own and he's fucked up on his own and their level of fucked uptitude is compatible and they get together and they fucked up together and create a cycle of low-level conscious living?
But isn't that what's been happening in the hood?
It ain't even got to be in the hood. I'm just saying.
Well, it's happening everywhere because fucked upness gets passed down intergenerationally. In other words, there has to be a decision to interrupt the pattern, right? So at a certain point, you have to decide. I've had to decide, despite my circumstances, despite my trauma, despite whatever I've gone through, I have to take a stand for my own sanity, my own receptivity, my own vibrance, and find and see the things that would allow me to experience myself as a god, goddess, whatever you want to call it, like experience the power of my own creativity.
You know, we might be too high. We might be so high that we're no fucking earthly good. Let's come right back down. Let's bring it back down. Let me ask. Does poverty dick and yoni only pertain to what is or isn't in a motherfucker's wallet?
Absolutely not.
Go deeper.
So, absolutely not. So when I've dealt with men that I've never. There's only one man that I've ever really taken money from, he's now a billionaire. It's about his consciousness. It's about her consciousness. So, I've talked about this before. So it's your paradigm. It's how you view the world. Do you view the world as abundant or scarce? Do you view life as giving and loving and generous or not? Do you view yourself as resourceful or not? So much of, we talk about poverty, it's a consciousness. So a man is going to deal with a woman like he sees himself in the world. If he is actually in his right lane, spiritually, in his right space, then he is going to, everything that he sees her with will create a blossoming in her. She'll be fertile, not just with children, but she'll be fertile with ideas.
Which is a currency. Which is a currency. Like, you just said something very powerful. Ideas, if you got a woman, let's just watch this. If you got a woman who can see the flaws in your great idea and serve as a type of ideological mortar, I don't know if that's too heavy, but be able to fill in the blanks in this idea you have, that is a fucking currency, man. Am I right about that? Am I off?
Because the woman is a receptive, and if she's in her right space of intuition, then she is sensing, not thinking, but sensing the reality of it. Sometimes if she doesn't know, she doesn't even know why she knows what she knows. But if
this is scaring me.
So
go ahead, Veronica. I'm just like, she just don't know nothing, but something she knows is gonna happen because she's in her rights. You're gonna have to make it clearer to me now.
If she's in her right, if she's in connection with intuition, if she's in connection with goddessness, then she actually can perceive things that a man can't perceive because he's linear and she is not. So but it's meant to function in balance, right? So a man is meant to create enough internal firepower to seed. A woman is meant to be the receptive of that and activate her intuition enough that she can be a discerning, creative force. Now, if she's got a lot of bullshit poured into her and sucked into her, she won't be that. She'll be a garbage can of wrong ideas.
Ugh. Oof.
And then you're dealing with that. But at some point, if we're going to save our community, both the men and the women have to identify and reconcile the condition that we're in.
Right.
But the beauty of it is that because the African race has so much spiritual connectivity, so much melanin, so much firepower, so much juice, and because sex is a vehicle that we are the masters of, we can actually solve this, but we have to decide to solve it in the way that it functions. We can't keep going back to how it doesn't function and making a case for how it doesn't function. We have to answer to the law of natural law of how it functions.
This is crazy. And listen, it's crazy, but it's real. Watch this. Are perpetual time/life wasters, procrastinators, a perfect example of fear-based poverty, pussy, and penis? Right? If you're wasting time, you're wasting life. Time is the only currency you can never get back. Right? If you're a procrastinator, is this a perfect example and or indicator of a fear-based pussy, poverty, or penis? This is a perfect indicator of that.
All procrastination comes from fear. So I take people through experiences where we deal with procrastination in like a half a day. You've done blitzes with me.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that most of the time when people procrastinate, they're in fear of something. They're doing a negative vision of something. And so if you're constantly looking at something and you avoid it, procrastination is avoidance, then there's something that you're afraid of. So I'll give you an example out of my own life. Back before I was an entrepreneur, I worked I worked for UCSF and Stanford Healthcare. I ended up doing a whole bunch of deals between UCSF and Stanford, and I was a part of the merger, all these different things. But at one point, I was procrastinating in my job as a manager of telecommunications. I was like 30 at the time. Mm-hmm. Every time they asked me to do my job, what I kept picturing was people dying in a hospital because I was responsible for operator services units and the disaster protocol and all these positions. It was a medical center environment. And so every time I considered taking action, what I did instead was procrastinate because my vision, because I hadn't been coached and clarified, was that if I took an action, people were going to die. If I took an action, this thing was going to fall apart. And so that's a negative vision. So if you don't resolve, so here's what I would say to people that's practical and useful right now. Look at what you want to do and take an inventory internally, how you see, feel, think about it. If it creates any negative energy in you, then you have an issue with it. So I couldn't move forward and do what I had to do because I was perceiving a negative outcome, and we do it all the time.
This is crazy.
I think it's an important thing to know because it's how we don't function. Procrastination is usually visioning fear. We're usually visioning fear, or we would be doing it. We'd be doing the thing, but we're visioning a fearful outcome. And until we deal with that, we're going to always procrastinate and avoid.
Wait a minute.
So if you're
wait. This is big. This is big. Let's come back because I'm tying something into what you're saying. Visioning, i.e. thought partnering, is part and parcel to what a fucking relationship is supposed to be, correct?
Correct.
Y'all supposed to be building something, but and now I got to go back to the three little pigs. Right? If the three little pigs represent, all right, so look, three little pigs, you got sticks, straw, and bricks. If you look at those three materials as the quality of thought, now you're dealing with the quality of the construction, right? So if you have a thought process as a relationship that's using straw, whatever you're building is not going to be sound. Whatever you're thought partnering on is not going to be sound. So we could say the straw construction is synonymous with fears and insecurities and doubt and scarcity, right? And then you can upgrade it a little bit and say, okay, maybe anger and guilt and all of this might be the sticks. But when you start building some solid shit with the bricks and creating a foundation, that's when each individual has reconciled whatever weakness that is pre-existing in themselves, or at least gotten to a point where they could be objective about it and accountable for it, own it, responsible. Right. Then y'all could build something different as thought partners in a relationship, correct?
Right, because you have to answer to the call. So everybody has a different call in their life, and I don't believe that no one has a call. Everyone has a call. So the question is, can you find a person and a mate that gangbangs with you around answering the call, whatever that is? Will they do what it takes? Do they share the same vision? Are they willing to do what it takes? And so, but there has to be a higher vision. There has to be a higher purpose. Otherwise, you degrade into, because if you're not answering to something higher than yourself, even higher than the relationship, then what the fuck are you doing?
Fucking.
You're existing in there, and then there becomes this like deterioration where people are just like, well, then I'm blaming you, and I'm blaming you, and I'm blaming you, and I'm blaming you. And that has nothing to do with the higher purpose. All I want is for black people to answer to the vision that's been beaten and cocked and fucked and raped and mutilated and slaveried out of us. All I want in life is for us to answer to our vision. That's all I want. That's what I've built my life around.
That's hard,
That's
Veronica.
the most important thing to me.
It's just hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's not impossible, but it is hard.
It is hard, but we've been through harder. And at a certain point, it becomes a decision. I came out of the fucking Black Panther. My dad was enemy number one with the Fraternal Order of Police and the U.S. Attorney General. I've come from hard. But I found a way through making decisions. I decided to have it be different. I decided to heal myself. I decided to pay the prices. It's a decision, and we have to get that it's a decision.
Wow. Listen, Veronica, hold tight. We got to take a quick break. Today's topic, if you're just tuning in, Jesus Christ, APS, avoiding poverty sex. It ain't just about empty wallets. It's about empty noggins, empty spirits.
Empty souls.
Fucking soul cavern. Wow. Soul crips fucking each other. This isn't good. Avoiding poverty sex. A tutorial for women and men on how to stop fucking fear-based / poverty penis and yoni. Hot Button Radio is crazy tonight. I want to hear from you. Are you poking a poor yoni? Are you letting a poor penis poke you? Somebody call us, 323-230-4610. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go deeper into APS, avoiding poverty sex. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason, Zoe Wiliams, is back. I'm surrounded by East Coast. So we're going to be inundated with East Coast. Now, I'm a hip-hop head, so I love hip-hop, but I love it from all coasts. I'm hoping that during the breaks it won't just be East Coast, if that's okay. It's like young New Yorkers are in here like, yeah, I mean, done? Word, yeah, I'm saying? Run the jewels, kid. Like, hey, hold on, shit. I can only take so much of that. We're going to need some West Coast things happening as well. Okay? I was told we have a caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Is this Ken?
This is Ken. What's up, bro?
There we go. What's happening, family?
Yeah, with some technical difficulties on the other end. I've been here for a while.
Okay, but you probably haven't heard anything we've said, right?
I've been listening a little bit. The line was hanging me up a little bit, but with what I did hear, you guys was definitely going in, asking some great questions.
And, let me just tell my audience a little bit about you from what I know. And I don't know a lot, but just by the name of the website, everybody who's listening to me right now, get to your browser and type this in. The game is to be sold, not told.com. This
game is sold.
The game is sold, not told.com. The game is sold, not told.com. Everybody in here. Hey, you.
The game is toldnotsold.com.
Yes. I want you to type this shit in too, because you don't be paying attention a lot of the times. Type this shit in right now. The game is sold, not told. Frank, I want you to put this website up so people can see it, because tonight's topic of Poverty Dick is inspired by the brother that's on the phone. Concepts like sex debt. What the fuck is sex debt? Man, oh man, it's Shevitz. Bro, I'm going to need you to come in here and clean this up. I need to know. By the way, on the line right now, the game spitter, Ken Brisbane, from the website, the company, The Game is Sold, Not Told, is about to break this down. Bro, from A to E, I'm going to get out your way. From A to E, explain what sex debt is.
Okay, that's a hell of a plug. I appreciate you.
I got to set you up.
Hell of an alley-oop. Chris Paul, that shit. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate what you do. Your perspective is definitely needed, man, so I'm humbled. So thanks for having me. Sex debt is, I'm a scientist, so I'm like a social scientist. So I observe and then I apply things on myself. So I test things out and I apply them on myself. So I've been every dude before. I've been in a sucker's position. I've been a player. I've been lied to. I've lied. I've hurt people. People hurt me. You know, I've been the Mac, you know what I'm saying? Then I've been on the other end of the bench. So I'm a nigga that has wore a lot of hats before. So in just studying myself, I look at the role that I've played in people's lives, and I know the things that I've been through. And when I'm having sex, I'm taking those experiences with me, and I don't check them at the door. So this woman, she takes on my characteristics, and there have been times when I was holding on to old trauma, pain, lack of confidence, being caught up in the black narrative too, so I already inherited a debt just saying I'm black. That's a debt in itself, because it's a crazy concept. But so I'm taking these experiences and I'm taking them and I'm mixing it with my sexual experiences. And these girls, and I got bodies, so there's a lot of girls that have took on my characteristics. Even though they seem potential, even though they seem what I could be, the underneath thing, though, they don't know about is the dark side that I have. And the dark side that I have has all of my insecurities, all of my fears, all of my traumas. And I'm giving that to her during sex. So now, when she goes out in the world, she's a representation of me, even if it was a one-night stand. So if I'm sharp, she's sharp. If my game is cold, her game is cold. But if I'm broken, she's broken. Even if she's a girl that's full of life, she fucked me long enough, she's going to take on that characteristic. It's just by proxy. Because have you ever seen married couples that start to look like each other? They spend so much time around each other where they start to resemble each other. So if you could do that physically, we definitely could transfer energy like that. So you might have a woman going to work and all of a sudden she's just having this fucked up day, hitting her foot on something. She's getting, she's going at it with people she never would go at it with. She got a flat tire. If you backtrack, she had sex with somebody the other day, and if she messed with an unlucky dude, she now becomes unlucky because in a crazy way, we're all responsible for each other. So sex debt is me transferring my trauma to my partner. If I've had molestation issues and I've never really dealt with that, I never forgave myself for that, and I go and have sex with someone, and she now has those fears. So it's not just about the bread. There's other forms of equity, you know what I'm saying? Integrity, self-esteem, positive attitude. Those are forms of equity. And if you don't got that, then when you have sex, you're going to be dropping those little nuggets off to the person. And if you keep having more sex with that person, you're totally going to embody their whole being. I believe that.
Wow. That's A to E. I got out of his way. I needed him to explain it. And once he did, I have a reference point. You know what's interesting about what he just said? Try lying to your woman while you're cheating on your woman. She may not know the details, but the energy of fuckery has been transferred. Right? Her intuitive process, something is off kilter. Women, I say this all the time, Veronica's going to get mad, but goddamn it, I'm not afraid of you, VC. But let me just say, women get mad when I say this. The very thing you hate the most works the best on you. The lies you say you don't love and you don't want no liar, that shit work better on you than the truth. Right? When men appeal to your fantasy, you fall head over heels for the fantasy. And you let him get further because he's been macking down your fantasy. Then you would let a nigga who is just telling you the truth. See, let me tell you what the truth does. It lets you know where you stand, and it lets you know instantly how much power you will or will not have in this relationship. This is why women always say, well, tell me the truth so I can make a conscious choice. And you know why men lie? Because they know if they tell the truth, that pussy ain't available for most of them. Not for all, for most. Because most men can't walk the path of truth. Most men who walk the path of truth get all the pussy they want. Period. But most men can't do that because they playing the numbers game. You understand what I'm saying? I need to behave a certain way. I need to act a certain way. He gave me a reference point. Whenever you cheat on your woman, energetically, she picks that shit up. So adding on to his point, you could say you fuck that energy into her. Am I wrong, Ken?
No, you on point. I mean, but we can go another way because all is mental.
Yes.
And poverty in the West anyway is mental. You know, even if we grew up poor, if some of us had government cheese, if we was latchkey kids, you know what we ate. It wasn't what we wanted to eat, but we ate. All right. So I don't know anybody that personally starved to death. So in the West, our traumas, the things that affect us is not body, it's mental. So our sex is mental because for real, this is really the first time really in history that people really, really are having sex for pleasure. You actually having sex because you like somebody. Typically, sex was about reproduction. It wasn't about being nasty. And depending on what kind of climate you lived in, you didn't necessarily have time to feel it, especially if you're living in a dictatorship or a totalitarian form of government. Who has time to enjoy sex? So people over here are enjoying sex, but it's mental. It's super mental. So my poverty mindset, where is it going to affect the woman? It's going to affect her mind. It's a mental thing. And then once that starts happening, her body starts deteriorating. You got women 35 years old having hysterectomies. You know, the hair loss. A lot of these things are from being stressed out from your partner. You know, and it does have everything to say what you mentioned, truth. It's hard for you to deal with truth when you're so used to losses. Many of our men, if we're talking about black men in particular, are used to catching L's. Your mama wasn't there. Your daddy wasn't there. You come from an environment that is extremely competitive. Everybody's at each other's throat. It's hard to shine. You didn't get the girl from the cheerleading squad. Your daddy used to beat your mama. You've been molested. You never was that guy. We could go on and on and on. So all you know is loss. So when you tell someone the truth, you risk the opportunity of the person leaving because truth breaks spells. The truth is ugly as hell. There's no pretty truth. If the world knew the truth, that no one is really special, and that's what it would do in a relationship. When you tell a woman the truth, like, yo, I have a bigger appetite, I like other women, what you're doing is, you know what, you're regular. You're not that special. You're regular. You're just like everybody else. See, the guys can't say that because they're so used to losses. Now, what you're doing is having sex with a stranger, even if you're married, because you don't know him, because he has secrets that he can't share with you. So he can't be his authentic self. So that's another form of poverty, because the flow is off on his end, because he can't be real with you. He can't talk to you because y'all not friends. You know what I'm saying? So the poverty penis aspect is just not dealing with brother don't got a car. It's deeper than that. It's on an intrinsic level. You know what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with a Frankenstein, number one. He was born a nigga. He was born into this paradigm. So you're having sex with a shell. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, this shit is fire. If you just tuned in, let me just say, if you just crept in here, today's topic, APS, avoiding poverty sex. Avoiding poverty sex, a tutorial for men and women on how to stop fucking fear-based / poverty penis and yoni. Crazy topic. How can the fear of having nothing ruin your intimate relationships? This is a crazy topic. People who haven't reconciled their belief around money. Veronica talks about this big. You can't write fear into your business plan. Every business that you start requires a business plan. If you're writing scarcity, lack, and all of that shit into your business plan, will your business succeed? I don't believe. I think it may, but there's a chance that it may fail. I think there's a greater chance that it may fail because in the construction of the business plan itself are your doubts. Oh, man, this is crazy. It's not just the wallet. Yikes. What about the flip side? What are men and women who fuck people who have financial means but are spiritually broke, intellectually broke? Right? What is the flip side? Are they just prostitutes? Ken, it's not rhetorical.
Sorry, can you repeat that again? The music was playing.
The music is banging. Turn the music down.
Yeah, the music was playing, so I couldn't hear you.
No, I was saying, what is the flip side of it? I said, what about people who have financial means? The wallet is fat, but the spirit and the soul is flat. What if they're spiritually bereft? Are they basically prostitutes? People who fuck with people who got money but don't have anything else?
I mean, at the end of the day, this is capitalism. And, we've been taught a weird form of morality. Morality is super relative. And for real, if self-preservation is the true first law of nature and we believe that, why wouldn't you fuck with somebody with means?
Wow.
That's smart. If we're playing the position game, men too. It ain't just a woman thing. Again, we're dealing with capitalism. So if we can't really be spiritual if our hierarchy of needs is not in order.
Whoa, you going to Maslow. Let's go to Abraham Maslow. The hierarchy of needs. Down at the bottom is just, hey, nigga, food, shelter, clothes. I got to have somewhere to shit. Basic shit need to be in order for me to even think about self-actualization. Right?
Right.
Wow.
Right. Before we talk about our chakras, right? Our kundalini.
Right.
Man, fuck all that. That doesn't matter yet. Let's get this bag. When we get this bag, we can be nerds like we want to be.
We can go. We can go to the Himalayas. Then we can go meditate somewhere.
We can meditate, and guess what? I believe the highest form of capitalism is spirituality. Capitalism allows you to achieve a certain level of spirituality that hasn't been felt yet, because materially you are so good where you don't even have to worry about it. Richard Branson style. You wake up and you know that you'll never run out of money. Of course you're spiritual, right? That's true higher self right here. Not no weird higher self. Real higher self is us on the yacht, and we know our grandchildren is going to touch this change. Who wouldn't want to mate like that? That's smart. What is the vagina for? If you have great pussy, why wouldn't you use that and be dating a mayor, be dating a senator, be dating a president? I don't give a damn if you're the other woman. It's about position. Wow. So we talk, and that's what the genitalia is for. It's for you to level up. If you don't got nothing else in the world going for you, everybody not gonna be lawyers and doctors. Let's cut that shit out. And everybody not going to the NBA. All right, there ain't really no dope on the street, and niggas is hurting. The best thing you got going for you is that you know how to fuck. Man, that's your skill right there. You should be loyal to that. You know what I'm saying? So, because if you don't, it's going to reverse on you to where you're going to have a skill and you can't feed yourself with it. That's real poverty. That's real poverty, penis, and poverty, vagina. The fact that you're great at something and you don't eat off of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the streets are alive. The voice of reason is on fire right now. I don't know who's listening, but shit is going down in the town in this motherfucker right here. Woo! That was an earful. My man, Ken, say your last name. I want to say it correctly.
Brisbane, like James Bond, just ending with an N.
Ken Brisbane. And your website is?
TheGameIsSoldNotTold.com.
TheGameIsSoldNotTold.com. He's on The Voice of Reason with Zoe Wiliams. The shit is going down. Tonight's topic, APS, avoiding poverty sex. Ugh. A tutorial for women and men on how to stop fucking fear-based / poverty penis and yoni. We've got to take a quick break so we can take a breather. We got to come up for air for a second. When we come back, we're going to go deeper into this. No pun intended. We're going to go deeper into this conversation. I'll be back at 2.2, the voice of reason, Zoe Wiliams, Hot Button Radio. We'll be back. Okay. Zoe Wiliams, the voice of reason, is back, and I think we have both our callers back on the line. Veronica, you there?
I'm here.
Ken Brisbane, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got both of you guys on the line.
Oh, we're all together now.
Very good.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're just tuning into the voice of reason. Tonight's topic, it's a tough one to swallow. Women are nurturers. Sometimes they want to fuck a fixer-upper. But you can't fuck, in my opinion, somebody's got to correct me. I don't think ladies can fuck the insecurities out of a man. I just don't. I don't think she can. She might be able to fix him up aesthetically, but I don't think emotionally she can fix him up in that way. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to correct me. I don't know if it's possible.
I can speak to that.
I know. But I'm just saying, is the fixer-upper the same as fucking a poverty dick for a woman? Is fucking with a fixer-upper the same thing? Veronica Conway?
So if we're dealing with the way things function, then it's no. Because he has to bring enough sexual, spiritual, elevated firepower to her pussy, into her cervix, into her being. She should be blossoming and giving birth to his creation. He creates through her. So a woman so let's talk about lanes. A man's lane is to bring the firepower.
Explain that. Explain that from A to D. Explain masculine firepower and how it is brought to the relationship. The man is the relationship's Prometheus. He is bringing fire to the relationship. How does he do that from A to D?
Well, first of all, he has to tell the truth because he is the sun. The man is the sun in the relating. So he has to, his work, his spiritual work, is defining the truth about the nature of reality. When he does that, then he can impregnate her with the nature of reality, and she can give birth to him. And then she showers him with what he needs to go out and shine brighter. It's how it works. It's how it functions. And so we can either answer to the law or not.
So the woman is fuel to the man's spiritual firepower.
Correct.
I could smoke a bag of that. Where they sell that?
And so what the man has to do is do his spiritual work in his lane to tell the truth. That's why I love what Ken is saying, because he's telling the fucking truth. And so if he engages a woman, I suspect that she will become a blossoming and a flowering and shower him with, she'll witness his truth. So when we keep talking about how women have become masculinized in our community, it's part of it is because the man has to break that up, but he can't do it from a lie. He can only do it from the truth.
I learned that shit the hard way. I done lost so many beautiful people in my life for fucking lying. Oh, sorry. Not personal.
Because you can't. If you fuck a lie into a woman, then she gives birth to the lie.
I got so many lie babies running around this motherfucker. Shit, I got some lie bastards. They ain't even babies no more. They just straight up bastards now. Lie bastards. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish, Veronica. Forgive me. I'm personalizing all of this.
All I would ask for our men and women to do is to actually figure out their right role. In other words, a woman can't teach a man about how to be a king. She can't teach him that. He has to discover that for himself. A man has the opportunity to impregnate a woman with his ideas and his seed and his thought. That's his opportunity. And when he does that, he becomes receptive, available, loving, and she can dream his dream into reality. And as Black people, if we don't get that, because sex is our higher, like we know how to do that, but we have to do it intentionally and consciously. There has to be a level of consciousness. That's all.
I got it. Ken, you'd like to add on?
Oh, yeah. I agree with everything she said, except I do think that a woman can teach a man how to be a king. First off, it has to be a woman first, and we have to know when to differentiate between males, females, and men and women.
Whoa.
So I think that if a woman knows kingship, she can train a male to be a king if she knows the science of kingship. But that's if she knows the science. And I can also train educate and teach a female. She got to do the work, but I can definitely create an awareness for her. If I know the science of womanhood, I can show her. She got to live it though. But as far as look, in my life, ain't no guys give me the game, because I done figured out that a man's job is to have babies and kill other men. That's the game. That's how it is. So I didn't get the game for men. I got the game for women. So my confidence, I didn't know I was cute until somebody told me. I ain't know to wear cologne. I ain't know to clean my nails. I ain't know to look like something, because I've heard women's ideals of what they think a man is, and the good parts of it, I took it. I didn't learn that from guys. Guys wasn't giving us the game like that because they didn't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I learned about myself, and I have value because women came and liked me, came and cleaned me up, gave me the confidence and told me, nigga, you can do this shit. There was my mamas. There was my grandmamas. There was my sisters. There was extended cousins. All of my lovers that came into my life seen something in me. And a lot of the times, I didn't even know that was there. They created an awareness for me. And I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I guess it's okay, cool. Okay, well, I can do this. The opinion of a woman, that shit matters. That can make or break a man. Even the concept of dudes saying money over bitches, that's because of the opinion of women. That you have that kind of concept. You know what? Fuck y'all bitches. I'm about my money. Somebody had to make you feel a certain type of way for you to take that approach, because ain't nothing like being with a woman. Nothing. But I definitely think a man's primary teachers and how he feels about himself is the kind of chicks that he deals with. And a woman gonna make or break a man. Rich dude, I don't care how sharp you are. Every man got a number. Every man got a woman that could come in his life and she just upgrade him or ruin his life. Wow.
Yes.
This shit is heavy right now. If you just tuned into the Voice of Reason, Jesus Christ, it's going down. I gotta reset it a little bit for people who may be tuning in just right now. APS is the topic. Avoiding poverty sex. A tutorial for women and men on how to stop fucking fear-based / poverty. Penis and Yoni. A blind man or woman cannot see the crown. There's no way they can cater to your higher self if they are blind to their own. It's really that simple. If I don't see the God in me, I'm going to see the fraud in you. Because I haven't discovered it in me. Oh, man, do you see how it's reciprocal? This shit is getting ugly.
That is yin and yang, though, baby. That is yin and yang. It's how we're meant to function. And until we restore that polarity, until men take up their right polarity, and until women take up their right polarity, we will always be suffering in our community. Because we've been trained out of our knowing of polarity. The original African stuff knew the polarity. And at some point, we have to answer to the law, the natural law.
But I think it's both. And we have to talk about the psychosis that black men and women are suffering from today in America, within American culture. Right? Women are hyper-masculinized. Men are feminized. I mean, it's some crazy shit going on right now, and the polarity is off. Caller! You're on the Voice of Reason. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up, man? This is Baby Smiles, man. I've been listening to your show for about the last 2-3 years. I like your direction. I want to talk to the topic, the bogus dick or the fucked up yummy. So,
hey, I like the way you just fucked up the topic. Avoiding poverty sex. I got you.
Right, avoiding poverty sex. You attract, like you always say, you attract what you are.
Right.
So when you're dealing with chicks, man, until you step your game up, you only gonna get so far.
A certain level.
Once you get so far, man, you have to respect a female. Once you reach a level of, pinnacle, you have to always depend on a woman, because without a woman, we are not. So when you're dealing with a woman, she got to believe in you like you believe in her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time to pick up the phone, man, and holla at me about this real shit.
No doubt, man.
Call in anytime. Yeah,
I'm
man.
originally from Mississippi, man. You dig? It's all love.
I figured this.
I appreciate you, Zo.
Thank you, brother.
I listen to you and follow you all the time. Much respect.
Thank you, brother. Listen, man. Listen, there are real people out here in the world that are trying to get some real answers to how to relate better. Fear equals poverty. Truth equals, and I'm saying knowledge of self-truth equals wealth. When you embrace the truth of who the fuck you are, not who your daddy or your mama thought you were going to be or thought what you were going to become, not their ideation of you, not other people's ideation of you, but when you embrace the truth of who you are, you become wealthy. Your spiritual wallet thickens. Man, this is crazy.
Can I speak to that?
Yes, you're itching. I can hear you wagging.
Yeah. So watch this. So the divine masculine is an organizing principle. And the divine feminine is a receptive principle. So watch how this has worked in my own life. I never... I was born. My daddy was a Black Panther, which means that, and my daddy was a profound Black Panther in the sense that I've had the Attorney General and the Fraternal Order of Police hunting him. I had to battle that, right? My mom had no idea how to even work. She didn't know how to do that. We were just in this trauma of the breakdown, but I made a decision to answer to the call, and I had to have men that had enough internal fortitude, enough internal certainty. They had done their spiritual work, so I could actually surrender to him. And the more that I did that, the more that I was able to create. I'm building a $3.6 million a year business. It's a function of spirituality. It's a function of strategy. It's a function of all that. And I didn't come from anything that told me I could do that. So at some point, we're going to have to make a choice in the Black community about how we're going to function.
Interesting.
We have to choose.
I have a question for my panelists here tonight. If the woman rejects your truth, does she reject, I'm going to say it as a man, if the woman rejects your truth, this is coming from Twitter, if a woman rejects the man's truth, does she then reject that man's firepower, and is either party wrong for this? Can a man's firepower be somehow incompatible with a woman? I'm going to go with the brother Ken first and then Veronica.
Oh, man, that's a great question. And the answer is yeah, because this is the thing. I think in the new age, right, a lot of us left church, but we didn't leave religion. So we just take the concepts over, and with ashes, hallelujahs become ashes. Instead of heaven and hell, it's higher self and lower self, but it's still the same premise. It's still a prison. And what I say that is because we're so afraid of the dark side. We do not want to deal with the dark. But in the dark side is our creativity. We always want to be this higher self shit. But it's about the dark side too, because it's the dark side that is fueling something that you was never allowed to be in history. So, and what I mean by that is, look, if you can't accept my truth and say I change, right? So now I'm this extra more loving husband. I'm always home, right? I'm not on the road. I'm not getting the money that I used to. I'm not doing the shows. I'm not doing anything. I changed, and you love me more, but I'm miserable and I'm unhappy. And you just changed my purpose. I chose you over my purpose.
Wow.
Now, when you accept my truth, that shit gonna be ugly. I might play the guitar, and I play a mean guitar, but guess what? I gotta sniff coke to do it. Do I stop? But that's what makes me great, though. So if you're my friend, and this is the thing about friendship, it's till the wheels fall off. If you're my friend, it's easy to love somebody. That ain't shit because it's based on condition. But friendship, as this young lady mentioned her father, Black Panther, their principles when they call somebody a comrade, I don't leave you in the battlefield. They broke Assata Shakur out of jail. They went and got that girl. All right? That's friendship like a motherfucker. So if you fucking with me and you come in and, oh, shit, you see the X pills on the table? Damn, baby, I didn't know you like that. Yeah, that's what gets me off. You seem, or you might like something sexual. So when I show you my real me, are you running away?
Woo!
Because you change one thing, you change everything. And that's a form of poverty, penis, and vagina. When we're sitting in the car and we're sitting next to strangers, and this person is a certain way, and they can't share it with you. You know what I'm saying? What if this nigga like 2 women, but he's a great guy and you guys get along? Are you leaving? Because your ego's fucked up and it's not the storybook ending that you was playing with your Barbies and shit, and your homegirls is there in their traditional marriages and shit, but you got a great life with this dude, but that's his twist. You can't get down with his truth? You my friend, right? Till the wheels fall off, right? But it works the same way, because that woman gonna have some truths too.
Man, you don't know. This that indica kush up in this motherfucker. I don't even smoke, my nigga. And this that indica kush. This that chronic bionic, my nigga. Let me say this. Let me just say this. This is real shit. Let me just. We don't disagree, but we differ. See, I flipped the word love and friendship. Now understand this about words. The word is, let me say it this way. The map shows you where shit is at, but it's not the terrain. Okay? So the word is a map for the meaning the brother is laying down. And this is where I just flipped the words. To me, friendship is conditional, and so is love. And this is why we don't experience the real of either one of them motherfuckers for the most part. Right? Right? So I just see the words as just, oh, that's the map. You see, the GPS will tell you where to go, but it won't tell you if there's a pothole in the street. You see what I'm saying? So words work like the GPS. Like, it'll describe some shit, but it's doing its best to do that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the best description of what it's describing. So when we talk about love, most motherfuckers ain't in love because most motherfuckers are dating concepts and ideas that have never been challenged.
Most motherfuckers have never fallen in love with themselves.
Right. Let me get this, V. Shit. I'm gonna give you yours, baby girl. You the motherfucking hollandaise on the salad, okay? Let me do this, okay? No, but this is real shit. Dating a concept. Your ideal man came from an idea. Now, this is where I make the distinction between fantasy and dreams. Right? See, when I got a thought partner in a relationship and we dreaming together, see, dreams are possible because dreams are in relationship with work ethic. Fantasy is some motherfucking logical absurdities that are impossible to bring about because they not realistic.
Correct.
So niggas, see what I'm saying? So a lot of your relationship ideology is coming from a fantasy. And that's why you frustrated, because the shit don't work. You get with a motherfucker and he has no idea of what you really want because you don't know, because you got a fantasy in place sitting there as a steward for your dream. See, the dream's supposed to come through, and once the dream is manifested, now you get the thought partner that can help you build the dream. If you build it, bitch, he will come. I'm sorry. I get excited about this kind of shit because I be thinking it's just me by myself thinking of this wild shit. Boy, Ken, you cold as ice, my nigga. We got to get together and pull some hoes together, my nigga, for real. I'm sorry. Veronica, it's your turn. Forgive me. I just went crazy.
So, No,
Veronica's like, I'm at a loss. This nigga here.
I'm never at a loss.
Go ahead, VC, spit on it. I mean, speak on it.
What's the question?
I'm saying, add on to what we're talking about in terms of the difference between the fantasy. A lot of times, the fantasy is born from a coping mechanism. I got hurt, something happened, so then I created that. So, and I'm asking you to build onto that.
So here's how it works.
Thank you.
The woman is the receptive on the planet. And so whatever you feed into her consciousness, she'll give birth to. So if she's watching TV, if she's doing a bunch of shit, then that feeds what she births into reality. So that's how she functions. So it's something that we have to, in our community, understand how the woman functions. She's the receptive on the planet. So what we can, and here's what I also say. So watch this, because it's going to freak some people out. One of the things that the Chama focused on is how Black people are functionally, because we have more melanin, we whatever you feed into our consciousness, we give birth to. So rather than build the war physically, what they've done is they've seeded our consciousness through, because when we experience and receive information subconsciously, we'll give birth to it. That's how we're designed. It's like our kinky hair, a spiral to the DNA. It's like a DNA helix. Our Black skin is, in fact, it's a transmitter for energy. So one of the things that the Chama clocked out of working with thousands and thousands and thousands of people is that Black people could be used as a vehicle for giving, we project what's been fed into our consciousness into the hologram. In other words, we're creating the reality because it's been fed to us. Same with a woman. So now we are in the position of having things fed to us, and we give birth to it in our consciousness. And we project it, and it creates the fucking reality. The reality is the thing that we are experiencing, not at our own hand, because they robbed us of understanding our nature. And the same is true for the woman. So she is, if she's healthy, vibrant, then she gives birth to reality itself. So at some point, we're going to have to understand what we're fucking up against. And we have to understand how to heal ourselves through our very nature. What needs to happen?
But Veronica, let me just say this. And then Ken, you can jump in. Let me just say, I understand what you're saying wholeheartedly. The woman is a receptor. She receives what men give her. But I would say she also receives what she is. She also receives what she has experienced. So, and I see things from a multifaceted perspective. It's not just one lane she's receiving from, or she's being,
Right. She's receiving it from everywhere.
Right.
And so that's, so a woman's responsibility is to take responsibility for the input. It's her job. The man's responsibility is to take responsibility for his output.
What he's putting into her. There we go. Now we got it.
We all have different work to do in our masculine and feminine lanes, but it is, in fact, the work.
Oh, my God. When we looking at today's black men and women, how in the Feast of Samhain are we going to flip it around to where we can stop and look at ourselves objectively in terms of how far we've come? I mean, you got the millennials, you got Generation X, you got Generation Edge behind the millennials. Like, well, how are we going to interface?
Start fucking consciously. Start fucking consciously.
But what does that mean? Like, if somebody asks you, what does that mean? What does fucking consciously mean? We need a blueprint.
Okay. So, if a man is going to penetrate a woman, understanding that what he penetrates her with she'll give birth to.
Well,
he has to put the intention into his penis. He should be working her cervix. He should be penetrating her and holding his intent as he meets her cervix. It ain't about pump, 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 dump. This is about his intention. She, in her thing, has to be willing to allow whatever, because if he's firepower, he's meeting her cervix, then he should surrender to whatever comes up for her. She should burn off all the toxicity. She should allow the fear, the degradation, all the places that she's felt disconnected herself from her sexuality and used it as a tool instead of what it's meant for.
Woo! Go ahead.
She has to surrender to it and allow herself to experience all the fear and the trauma. Now, when she does that, if she's crying and sobbing and raging, which she should be if she's being clarified, then the man can't take it personally. He has to allow her to have the experience so that she can burn that shit off. On the other side of that is a showering from her to him that allows him to experience his true divine nature and his firepower. Because when a woman showers him with her joy and her bliss and her receptivity, because she has had the space to burn it off, then she showers him with something that feels like God.
Yikes.
That's what I mean about it all works together. It's a system that was given to us a long time ago that we forgot. It's conditioned out of us through capitalism, through dumb shit from white folks, through our own, I'm going to say pride, because we'd rather pretend that we know as opposed to act like we don't. We have to show up as students to the game that we actually created.
Wow.
And then answer to the fucking call.
This shit's crazy. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the voice of reason. That was the voice of Veronica Conway. She has created a neurolinguistic program called Black Mastery. It is narrated by famous life fixer Iyanla Van Zant. It is a neurolinguistic program that is designed to subconsciously erase, rewrite, and recontextualize all of the negative beliefs you have had being here in America as African Americans. So Jim Crow, colorism, self-hate, all of that shit is dealt with on a subconscious level. It is the first of its kind. You can find it at blackmastery.com, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Veronica?
That's right. It's my little thing that I do sometimes.
Yeah, just create some revolutionary shit. Cool. Yeah. That was Veronica Conway. I mean, listen, this shit is crazy right now because if I'm getting everything that everybody is saying, and I'm coming to you, Ken, so get ready. If I'm getting what everybody is saying, if I fuck escapism into my woman because I'm trying to escape the mundanity and mediocrity and just the doldrum of my life. What am I seeding into my wife? Am I seeding her own discontent with me because I'm discontented with me and the world and what I have? See, motherfuckers don't look at sex as the same tools they would look at the plumb line or the compass, right? The same tools that they use to build a building. They're not looking at sex as a tool to build something. If I'm understanding Ken Brisbane and Veronica Conway correctly, if I bring that bullshit into my relationship and into that bedroom, I'm about to build and construct the destruction of this relationship I have. Is that what's about to happen, Ken?
Oh, yeah, man. Most definitely, bro. Look, the only improvement is self-improvement, right? So if I'm working on myself, I'm going to be a benefit to my partner. Partner. And I feel like if you can't be used, then you're useless. Not being you serve no purpose. You know what I'm saying? So when you come into a situation with lack, scarcity, depression, after a while, again, the woman is going to take on those characteristics. You know what I'm saying? So now, for example, I'll give you a great example. For the last 6, 7, 8 years, right, with YouTube coming about, you know, this was a lot of people's first experience with so-called consciousness. They don't go back to it when it was on VHS tape. But when the internet started popping, they started hearing Claude Anderson. They started hearing Amos Wilson. They started hearing Shahrazad Ali. They started hearing people they never heard before. That shit right there. And they kept going in Illuminati talk, right? That shit destroyed relationships. People escaped. They thought the world was going to collapse. They stopped trying. They stopped having confidence. It took the confidence away because they already had a pain body in the first place. So they just replaced the Christianity or Islam with a new drug to get high on, but they was already broken. So it was escapism all day long. Intellectual masturbation, this hidden colors, the next hidden colors. People stopped pushing. People stopped, hating. It was Obama hate. It was death. And he's supposed to be conscious people, right? That's a great example of escapism we can all identify with because we know people in that phase, or we even been in that phase ourselves. The couple escaped out of reality, right? And in their relationship, what did they do? Fuck and argue. Fuck and argue. He's not better off now. She's not better off now because there was no true enlightenment going on. Now, the only way that you can eliminate the escapism, it has to be real enlightenment. Meaning, when I get in a relationship with you, after my first heartbreak at 17 and 16, that true love, real love shit went out the window. Okay? We're going to deal with reality. If I'm with you and you're with me, my job is to make sure you're a doper chick. Your job is to make sure I'm a doper dude. We become master builders on each other, right? And we're going to make love. We're going to have fun. But at the end of the day, we're with each other to add on. I don't own you. You don't own me. That's how you get out of escapism, by designing the relationship. You mentioned that everybody's living these fantasies. But to escape that, you get in a relationship and you say, what works for us? People get in a relationship and automatically monogamy is the default relationship behavior. Why? We ain't even talk about it. How do I even know that you function like that? We get in relationships with fixed ideals already. We don't wrestle with. What works for you, this works for me. And that's the best way to get it away from the escapism, or it's going to be a lot of debt sex going on. You know what I'm saying? Poor sex?
Debt sex.
I don't know, yeah.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Damn. I love this shit. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just do this really quickly. Y'all know her. She ain't been here in a while. She busy. She making money. She's on our team, though. She's our girl. Whitney Tabor just joined the discussion. I don't know if you've been listening.
I haven't even been listening. I feel bad.
Oh,
I'm a shh-y person.
Yeah, you listen. It's so much game getting laid down today.
I just walked into a whole. I'm like, wait a minute.
So I'm gonna say this to Whitney real quick. I'm gonna just bring her up to speed, guys, really quickly. Today's topic, Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
APS, avoiding poverty sex.
Ooh.
A tutorial for women and men on how to stop fucking fear-based / poverty penis and yoni.
Yeah.
Right? How can fear of having nothing ruin your love life, your intimate life? Just the fear of having nothing, right? Because a lot of people are so on the grind so they can have something that they'll fuck up the relationships because they come into the relationship with that ideation. True or false, the fear of criticism often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that can hold people back from being successful, not only in life, but in love. True or false, the fear of poverty is both the most destructive and hardest to master of all fear. And what we've already deduced to this point is that fear equals poverty.
Okay.
And the awareness and the consciousness of who you really are, which leads to truth, equals wealth. So it's not just fucking a nigga with a broke wallet.
Yeah.
It's fucking a nigga with a broke spirit.
Ooh.
An empty soul. How to avoid poverty sex. APS. That's what we're talking about today. Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah. Very heavy.
Heavy.
And we have special guest on the line from the website The Game Is Told, Not Sold. Ken Brisbane of the Highland Brisbanes and Veronica Conway. You know I got to put some extras on. He's of the Highland Brisbanes. Northampton, to be exact.
Hilarious.
So we've been just breaking it down, and it's covered the gambit of relationships. Whitney.
Yeah.
Somebody that's broken, like a fixer-upper dude. How if women get caught fucking those kind of dudes? Have you ever fucked?
Yeah.
A poverty dick?
Come on, man. Come on. I married one, bro. Like, let's. If we really want to get into it, yeah, I definitely feel like I said, a lot of my relationship learning has come from my failed marriage, or our learned marriage, because I learned a lot through all of the pain and all the blah blah blah. But yeah, a lot of our issues that came about during our relationship happened to be because, I only had my dad, and he was this way, and so a lot of our issues were brought because he had to grind so hard. Like, I remember he was a radio personality on a show up in Washington, and he was on the show. I'm the wild child, I'm the flower child here on The Voice of Reason. He was the single wild dude on the show. So I would be like, hey, why don't you post about me on your Facebook? Or why don't people know you have a girlfriend?
Oh, he was poverty.
Here you go. Ready for the excuse? Here
go
we go.
Ahead.
And he had money. It was like mentally, inside.
Energetically poor. Yeah.
So here was the excuse. On the show, I got to portray a certain character, blah, blah, blah.
Eek.
And I was like, okay, I guess that's because it's your job. I'll let it slide, but if hoes is on you in the club and shit, you ain't on the show, play. You better hit him with a stiff arm and keep it moving. But it went beyond that. Like when we did go and get married, it was like you're acting like bro, like what
you broke inside.
Why you acting broke, bro? No, but the line. Okay, here's another one. The line when I was like, "Yo, we got to go to therapy. We got to figure this out," because I took. This is serious. We're married now. This is not just dating. So let's, really try at this. So let's go to counseling and talk to somebody else who might know a little bit more. his excuse for that was, well, he went once, right, to see a counselor, and his excuse when he came back, I said, cool, when are we going to go? Because we got some issues we need to handle. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I have some things that I need to handle before we can, you know, fix our problems. So he basically took his broken daddy issues, mommy issues, broke nigga issues, whatever issues he had, and put those ahead of what needed to be fixed when it came to us and our relationship. So that was when I said, you ain't like the brother before, he said, you know, I'm gonna work on you, you work on me. Like he was like, nah, I'm gonna work on me. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to help you. When do I come into play? And that's kind of when
it all went.
It was
down.
like, yeah, I gotta go. Wow. But one more thing I want to kind of touch on too is independent women. I feel like I'm one of those where I just put my head down even after the failed marriage. I just said, cool, I'm just gonna work. I feel like a lot
Rihanna?
of yeah.
Cool.
Shout out to Riri, what up? But men take that as we don't want to be women anymore and we want to be a man and y'all trying to be the new. That's not the case. That's just what I chose to do, is work.
Wow.
I don't know.
Woo, Veronica Conway.
Can I say something to that?
Absolutely.
Well, you know what? It's funny because we're actually alive where we can see concepts change. So we're seeing like patriarchy adjustments. Mm-hmm. So the reason why women, it seems like they're masculine, is because they have the opportunity now to manifest their ideals. Typically in Eastern countries, there's a thought ceiling where a woman cannot really manifest her ideals.
True.
Now, this is what happens when you get out of her way, and we call it masculine, right? But I think the guys are having a hard time adjusting because the men don't have a purpose for real.
Wait a minute. Wait, Ken. Wait, you said something earlier where you made a distinction between men and males, women and females, or something like that. What was the distinction?
Well, the distinction is just like the difference between how a shark can be a male and a giraffe can be a male and a dog can be a male, but none of them can be men.
Right.
The reason why they can't be men is because it's an awareness.
Right.
The difference between a male and a man is an awareness. You have to decide to be a man. It's like a samurai.
Right.
That's dope.
Right. Now, see, the reason why I had him do that is because I want to make sure everybody thinks in stereo and not mono. Mm-hmm. Mono is black and white. Stereo is surround sound, conceptual, contextual. Keep it in context. When we're talking about women being masculine, right? A real man does not mind a woman having her own, being industrious, being full of ingenuity and ideas and concepts, right? And going out there, right? And going out there and building the kind of reality she wants to build. Real men are not intimidated by that.
Boom.
So
correct.
To add, but then to add a real perspective to this argument, to this discussion at this point, when we talk about the hyper masculinized woman, we're not talking about her effectiveness in corporate America. Some men are talking about her belligerence, her disrespect, her contempt towards men, and the way she talks is man-like. So there's that exists too. So we don't want to blanket license one type of, you know, we want to cover all of it.
Yeah.
And like even that, what I just outlined can be a show. Like, because there are women who have lost the touch. Back in the day, Big Mama Nim, your auntie, they knew how to talk to change the environment in a room. Mm-hmm. They knew how to do that. They knew how to de-escalate a man. Okay? They knew how to de-escalate a situation. Women today have taken cues from emotionally weak men who pop off. in corporate America. Because remember, if you talk about the anal emotional territorial circuit, Timothy Leary, Your Brain is God, go get that book. When we talk about the anal emotional territorial circuit, that's the dude who's your boss, who signs your check and gets to talk shit to you because he does. Do you understand? So there are a lot of women who are patterning that behavior in their homes because they've escalated. So I'm not talking about the woman who's industrious but is yet still a woman. Do you understand?
Right.
We have to point that out. Veronica, speak on it.
So let's have our men reclaim our women.
Oh, I like it. Let's go.
Oh,
I like it.
Men reclaim our black women, understanding that she's been violated. She's had to go out and struggle and suffer on behalf of our black children. But let our men recognize and remember the firepower that they have to reclaim her. Because everything that we need is right here with us. So all I want from a man is for him to know himself enough, to have enough self-awareness that he can penetrate me with that awareness. I will give birth to this awareness. I will.
I love it. This is good shit, my niggas.
I know. I'm like, man.
All right, listen. We're getting close to the end of the show. This is what I need. I need a couple of tips from everybody. What are some of the signs of an impoverished penis and yoni? What does a po, broke, and lonely coochie look like? I'm just asking. How do they act? Ken, give me 3 tips, 3 signs.
Well, I'm gonna give you something I think that represents 3 things, and that is, you fucking with poverty pussy or poverty dick when the person does not want to see you win. There's nothing like somebody that wants to see you win. We fuck haters.
Oh, here we go. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Guys hate on chicks. You know what I'm saying? Black women get a bad rap. So people think, if she got a Benz or she make $250,000, she not gonna talk to you if you a janitor. That's not actually true, because a solid chick is a solid chick. Now, what happens is a dude is so insecure when he gets into that situation because he's never been around great women. So he can't fathom a black woman having shit. So he comes into the situation and he hates on it, right? That's not wanting to see you win. You know what I'm saying? So that's and it works with the females too. A lot of men have never really had good pussy because good pussy wants to see you win, and she's gonna use her resources and her perspective and give it to you. That's real shit. That's outside of the good sex. Can you help me win?
God damn it!
Purpose, and can you add to it? You know,
good pussy wants to see you win.
That's it.
Wealthy pussy wants to see you win. Hallelujah, in the name of Black Jesus on the wall of Florida Evans in James Evans' house. Hallelujah, man, that is the gospel. God damn it. And he took up all the time, so I can't get no more tips.
Well, I was going to say insecurity. That's the one. For males, insecurity. Insecure niggas. But he pinpointed it on point.
Damn.
That's it.
Veronica, do you have one quick one? VC? Do you have one quick one?
Everybody has to own their lane.
Yep.
So the man has to answer to the divine masculine. The woman has to answer to the divine feminine. And until we do that, we will be suffering all the fucking time. So for a man, find your fucking firepower. Find your truth. And for a woman, Know what to look for. Know how to be receptive. You could do your spiritual work too. The spiritual work is finding a way to love, be the embodiment of your love.
And you can feel that shit. You can feel it.
I'm going to give my quick one. Poverty pussy is envious of you.
Ooh.
Poverty pussy wants to emulate your gift.
Because they lost.
Because they're not connected to what their purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
They're not connected to what they don't. They're so envious of you, right? That they disrespect your gift in thinking that they can do it better.
Damn.
That's poverty pussy. Do you understand? That is the opposite of what the brother just said. Wealthy pussy will get behind your gift and propel your gift with nothing but spiritual fuel for your gift. Mm-hmm. I'm using what Veronica said. Women are fuel for the firepower in men. If you got a woman who has seen the magic in you but couldn't contain it, but instead tried to emulate it because they've always wanted it, that's a broke, lonely pussy.
Ho-ho.
Take your dirty, raggedy pussy on. Run that pussy down the street, goddammit. I'm sorry.
And I feel like, too, I'm going to tap into a little bit more when it comes to the women's side, because I've dealt with some raggedy dick.
You got some raggedy dick on it?
Yeah, I told y'all the story. But all I'm saying is women can feel it. So I knew before I even married old boy, I can admit it now, that I knew for a fact this ain't it. I could feel it. So women, listen to yourself.
Listen to your pussy.
You know what I mean? Don't listen to it all the time, because sometimes the fine one just walk through and you're like, you know what? Hey.
Your pussy be like, no.
You know what?
Girl,
put it on the pedestal here.
Take
Zaddy,
this dick.
hey Zaddy. You know, he probably the brokest nigga in here, but he look good. Girl.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Zoe Wiliams, the voice of reason. I want to thank everybody for chiming in to today's show. It was definitely a barn burner, a heater. Listen, we'll be back Friday night with another incredible topic. Let me just say thank you, Ken. Man, tell them what your website is one more time, real quick.
Man, the game is soldnottold.com, and thank you much, beloved.
Come on, man. That's what we do. It's good game. Veronica Conway, always in the building. We'll be back Friday night with another one. Hot Button Radio, Dash Radio, the voice of reason, Zoe Wiliams. We out!